I was contacted by Joe and Carl. This was a while ago, wasn't it? So it was in April, I guess. So I was contacted by them to co-produce and be the musical arranger for this song and help him finish writing the song for the theme song for the anniversary of Amnesty. And you know, I had known Carl from working with Levon. You know, Carl was a good friend of Levon's, and we met up at the barn, and Carl played the song for me as much as he had done, and I was really impressed because, you know, freedom. That's a lot to. That's a big bite, you know. It's a lot to bite off and try to make something out of that theme, and I thought he just got it. You know, he really. The song he wrote it's very accessible. It's very musical, and it's very. He nailed the theme really well, I thought. And, but my role was to try to help him finish write this and arrange the thing, so and help to recruit a bunch of singers to get on here, you know, along with Bob Clearmountain, you know, and you know, it was quite a task, but we got it done. Well, we were trying to go for. You know, rather than star power on this thing, we were trying to go, the primary criteria was artistic integrity. That was, we wanted to get people singing on this who, by the nature of their work, were credible to be singing about freedom, you know, to be singing about the value of Amnesty International and people who had followings that would be attracted to what Amnesty stands for. And you know, I mean, we certainly were not disregarding star power in that equation, but the primary criteria was artistic integrity. That's exactly what it was, you know, believable artists who you would see and hear being involved with this, and you would think that that they mean what they're saying, you know, and that's, you know, we hunted them down and we got them. Well, certainly the primary session, which was done at Levon's place, you know, where we were really putting the song together and creating the backing track, the initial backing track for this. That was great. It was a lot of fun. It was a very enthusiastic thing to do, you know, and the others that I participated in, you know, having. Spending an afternoon with Rosanne, who's, you know, she's a great friend, and always glad to be around her, you know, and she did a great job, and, you know, and then and getting to work with Bob Clearmountain, who's one of my heroes, you know, for a lot of different reasons, and that's that was, you know, he's a great guy, incredible talent, and, you know, the whole process, getting to know Joe, getting to know Carl better, and finding out more about what Amnesty is all about too. It's very enlightening and edifying, you know. Levon is, and this phrase has been used about him by many people many times, an American treasure, a true American treasure. There's no getting around it, you know. He symbolizes for so many people everything that's intriguing and beautiful and and wonderful about being an American, you know. And the way I've always summed it up is, musically, he's more than anyone else I've ever worked with is the guy that can do any form of American music: blues, gospel, rock and roll, bluegrass, country, New Orleans. Anything that you can call real American music, he does with complete authority, and as if he's lived it all, you know, and he has, you know. It's not no pretension at all, and he's a great guy. You know, we've known each other for years, and always had a really good musical relationship and friendship, and his studio, you know, he built this place in 1968 in Woodstock, and it burned down twice, I think, and he rebuilt it and made it better each time, and now it's a great recording studio, wonderful room. He built it originally in 1968, and it's burned down a couple of times, and he rebuilt it better each time, and now it's, and for the past 7 or 8 years, we've been weekly doing the Midnight Ramble on Saturday night, which, you know, the band, we all perform there, and people come from all over to the barn, and it's a very intimate setting, and acoustically it's just magical, and it you know, it just goes hand in hand with Levon's personality, and it's like he's inviting you into his living room, and you know, and light a fire, sit down and listen to some music, you know, and it's like everybody's in it together, and it's a great place to be. But it's a really great functioning recording studio, and you know, Levon, my first awareness of him was, I guess it was 1968, when the band was backing Bob Dylan at a tribute to Woody Guthrie at Carnegie Hall, and you know, there was all these great folk singers there with Pete Seeger, Judy Collins, Tom Paxton, people I was really into, just with their guitars and singing these songs, Woody Guthrie tunes. Fabulous, wonderful. Then in the end, here comes Bob with this band behind him, and they blew the roof off the place. And I had never seen. This was my first exposure to folk music, being married to rock and roll, and it just knocked me out. And then I went out and bought Big Pink, which was their first record, and like so many people, my imagination was just fired, because it was, this band somehow managed to encapsulate everything, this feeling that was, you know, pretty prevalent in the country at that time of a sort of this desire to make America ours again, and not our parents, you know, and not what it was in the 50s and post-war and up to. It was this desire to rediscover the country, and you know, there all this political changing, wanting to change society, and all that was going on. It just all meshed together, and this band became a symbol of that to so many people. Why? I don't know. I mean, it was just, they managed to musically illustrate what America was supposed to be, you know. And Levon, to me, was the heart and soul of that. He was from Arkansas. He's from the Delta. He's from where all this stuff was born. And he's turned out to be a great friend. So it's homegrown, it's honest, it's about freedom, it's about what this country stands for, you know, was built on. it makes perfect sense. It's you know, I mentioned the artistic integrity of the people we wanted involved in that, and that's all he's ever known is artistic integrity, and it's perfectly fitting, I think. It's got heart, and if that's there, then I'm glad to be involved in it. I've been involved in things that don't have it, and I just got, you know, walked into it and wished I hadn't. But this is everything's being done for the right reason on this project, and I'm enthusiastic about seeing this through, primarily for the cause, because it's Amnesty International. You know, this is a wonderful organization, and I hope more people start paying attention to it, and understanding what good and what good this organization can do for the world, and how the world needs it. You know, especially there's so many changes going on in the world right now. There's a lot of catalytic events going on in the world, primarily, of course, in the Mideast and the Arab countries, and there's great opportunity now for, and you know, I have to use the word democracy, to spread, but spread not because we're going to make it spread, but spread because it's born of the people who desire it, you know. And by democracy, I mean, I don't necessarily mean that the world has to be like America, you know, but that people can understand and want freedom and make it happen themselves and own it themselves. And not have it imposed on them, and this is the way you do it because this is the way we do it. Because then it's worthless to them. It's not going to take hold, you know. But so there's a lot of events in the world right now where people are in a position to start taking control of how they want to live their lives. Dictators being taken down, governments being tyrannical governments being overthrown. If a group like Amnesty International can participate, can be there for these people who have been oppressed, it can help. It can help in their fight to gain control of their lives. You know, you see that connection. That's. I mean, you know, this is. This might be a little bit above my. I'm a musician, you know. But yeah. People need to control their own lives. However that gets done is up to them and their environment. But I just feel strongly that Amnesty can play a really big role in that, in stamping out political oppression, you know. Every time I get to make good music with good people, it enriches my life. And throwing a good cause with it and a common goal to reach with this music and these people. And I just feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. you know, it's just great to have something you believe in and a vehicle to help you cultivate that belief. It's just great. That's the satisfaction I get out of this. You know, Levon, to me, is the quintessential American. He's just, he's living, you know, he's humble, he's talented, he's magnanimous, you know, I mean, he's not a saint, I ain't saying that, you know, by any means, you know, but he's there's something about the guy that just personifies what America is supposed to be all about, and a lot of people see that in him. Everybody put passion into it, you know. Everybody performed it as though they believed in it and believed in the cause and believed in the value of their contribution to this. You know, I've known Kev Mo for a little while, but this is the first time I've had an opportunity to work with him. Well, great, just great. He you know, he just put his heart into it right from the top. Everybody put their heart into it. Everybody did. Warren, Shawn Mullins, you know. They came at it with a real attitude of respect for this thing. You know, from what I've seen and heard from the artists whose contribution I wasn't there for, you know, American and international, they all had this. They all seem to have the same desire to make this work, you know, and it's fun too. It was fun. It's all been fun. That's a puzzle. It's a real puzzle. It's you know, there's a lot of happy little accidents, and you know, somebody sang a line a certain way, and you thought, well, this is not going to work, but then you heard someone else who sang that line or the next line a certain way, and you put them together, and all of a sudden you got magic, you know, and that would happen, and yeah, you know, when you're mixing and editing something like this with all these contributions, you really have to have a big picture in mind, and you have to have a lot of little details in mind too, and you know, you got to see the forest and you have to see every tree, and it's a challenge, but you know, it is fun. It's just a lot of fun. Warren Haynes and Shawn Mullins singing together was pretty amazing. Kristofferson and Rosanne singing together was pretty cool. Amy and Teresa singing together is a thing, you know. That's kind of a no-brainer. Jimmy Barnes and his daughter singing together, fabulous. Essie and Marianne Faithfull, that was, you know, that was good. I mean, Marianne, of course, is legendary, and a sweet girl from London, and Essie is another sweet girl from London, and you know, two completely different generations, but I think there was just a tiny little magic moment when we put them together, you know. And, Eric Burdon with Carl, those two voices together was great. Kev Mo and Taj Mahal, how about that? Yeah, you know. And I mean, these were just optional pairings, and there's so many other ways it could have worked too. And Angelique Kidjo with anybody was, you know, Susan and David an Iranian and Israeli singing together about freedom. That's what this is all about, you know. That sums this up pretty good, I think.